Okay, thank you. And now we'll go to the third question, which is, we'll start with, again, Professor Doulgeri. And the question is, what is the main challenge for using robotics in Greece, and how one can overcome this problem?
All right, okay. Challenges, yes. I mean, I think the main challenge so far has been for adopting robotic technologies has been financial constraint of the initial capital that is required to purchase a robot and implement a robotic solution in any of the sectors. Of course, this constraint has potentially been relaxed with the new technological advancements that I have talked before. And this is because traditionally robots, in order to employ robots in manufacturing, for example, you have to actually accompany all this investment with other hard automation, like conveyor lines, et cetera, because the robots were working in environments that they are well structured, and this needed a huge investment at the beginning. Now, although there is this technological advancement that has relaxed the financial constraint, doesn't mean that the financial constraint is not there. And therefore, one should take measures. For example, measures like incentives for the private sector, like tax releases or whatever, or tax reduction in companies that they either deploy robotics or they develop robotics in Greece. Because this would help them, and they would give them the incentive to go and implement robotic solutions in their work. And having this new technology that the new robots can work in unstructured environments, this is nowadays possible. And it doesn't have the initial capital investment that is required with the traditional robotic solutions. And of course, there is for the development and deployment of robots in the different sectors, there is the problem of clear safety and regulation procedures. These procedures, apart from the requirement to be clear, they had to be also flexible in the sense that the technology advances and there are new things that are happening, and they should be incorporated in the regulations and the safety regulations. And that means that these regulations should be updated regularly, and also the process of getting a certification for using a robot in your company or whatever in your application should be faster than usual. So we have, I think, all these measures that we have to take in order to facilitate the deployment of robots in Greece. Okay.
Thanks. I'm sure that Mr. Dritsas can...
I looked at him while I was...
I was looking at you as well. I got the message.
He's the probe of the government here.
Okay. The challenges are many. First of all, it has to do with the financing of research and innovation in Greece, which has to be consistently rising, and it is over the past 10 years. And this is how we see the research and innovation expenditure as a percentage of GDP, which is growing. We are, let's say, 2.5 more times multiplied by what it was in 2012. It's a huge improvement. But also we have to give incentives to the companies to invest in research and innovation, but also in the deployment of these solutions. And there are many financial tools. First of all, when it comes to research and innovation, there are the incentives given by the Ministry of Development, which has to do with tax reliefs for research and innovation, which are very, very high. It was increased by 300% last year. So it's huge. It's the maximum you can get in the European Union. And there are also many programs that are financing. The companies are giving grants in order to invest in these cutting-edge solutions. Maybe it's a problem of lack of awareness, first of all. Maybe SMEs are afraid of deploying these new technologies in the factory and the shop floor. They need encouragement.
Lack of people? Lack of
Lack of people, trained people. This is also a shortage, is a real problem. And I also have to mention another challenge which has to do with bureaucracy, red tape, as they say. It comes from Brussels. We also have our homemade red tape. And all these programs, although are coming to facilitate the small and medium enterprises, at the end of the day, there is a lot of paperwork behind it. Also for the research project as well. I know that it's a big complaint from the academia, and we understand that problem, trying to tackle with it. So these are the main challenges. There are efforts to tackle with them, but we have a long way to go still.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Konstantinidis.
I think that we now live what we did live back in 90s and 2000 and on with laparoscopic surgery, that a lot of benefits that we were seeing were late to be developed, applicated in Greek hospitals, and now it's the same thing with robotics. Everybody says about the cost of the equipment, we know what it is, but then the economic benefit, not the real health benefit to the patients, is that having less time in surgery, if you have the experience, less time in the hospital, minimize the possibilities that somebody goes to the intensive care unit. From my own patients, if 100 people had to go to surgery, after surgery to the intensive care unit, 4 go and only for 1 night. And I do major surgery. If we have less problems with complications like deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, myocardial infarction, respiratory infections, all these, money-wise, are a lot of money. So knowing that the technology is so much, and then finding what has happened so far since 2006, we started in Greece doing robotics, we have to figure out that it is economically better for the system, for the country, and from there on, don't forget the training to the youngers, because if they see the procedure well, if we do open surgery, it's not easy for the residents to see, because you have your head there, but if you have the camera and you see and everybody sees, so everybody gets educated. They can review the tape, the video afterwards to know what exactly has happened. And from there on, all this offers to the society. And I think that the technology that is here, which took us to the space programs, what we did, we made them miniature so to be used inside the human body. This is really helping us offer the best. And in Greece, for some reason, it was thought that it was too expensive. I don't think there was another reason. And it was not really applied to the main teaching hospitals. So in Greece, if I will be able one day from here to Karpathos, where is my island, where I come from, to be able to do surgery, it's coming, remote telerobotic surgery. If I am there and I do surgery here, it will be much easier for me. So I will not have to worry about, what is happening in the hospital, because my assistants will be doing what is necessary. So me being in another place, I have my console, I can do surgery. But before that, with my console, I can proctor other centers, other surgeons, not to go there. I have been traveling a lot in the last several years as a proctor of robotic surgery, Europe, England, to proctor the first cases of surgeons in their hospitals. So in Greece, we need robotics. We need to offer to our patients better surgery.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Theodorou.
Well, the challenges plenty, but the only challenge that really takes our daily life, we are dealing with it, is people. We have a huge problem in finding the right people, which will staff mainly engineers. And in robotics, you need electrical engineers, you need electronic engineers, you need software, mechanical engineers, of course, the main one. And there are not many engineers graduating that they are seeking a career in robotics. Don't know why. Probably they don't know exactly what is happening. Probably they consider that the market is fairly shallow in Greece, so they are not secure that they will have a future, which is wrong. So for us is the most important challenge. Also, we see that some of our engineers are but experienced now. They move to what we call systems engineering or integration engineers. This is very important because in the end of the day, when you try to build a system, you need somebody, an engineer, who will understand everything, all the electrical or electronic or mechanical engineering issues. Now, I haven't seen yet somebody coming out from university with some background, important background in systems. So our philosophy is to take, engineers from particular fields and then try to find who are the ones who think in an integrated way. Now, that's one part. I wanted also to mention that in Greece, again, we have a problem in that we don't have a robotics ecosystem. What I mean, just give you an example. I was visiting Stuttgart many years ago, and it was actually Mercedes-Benz there, and there were around Mercedes-Benz, there were more than 1,000 subcontractors or smaller companies supporting Mercedes in their operations. So practically, you don't, to have one systems integrator is okay, but nobody can do everything. You need an ecosystem around to support him or them. So this is another problem that we have to see and we have to work on. Thank you.
Yes, that's true, and HERON will try to
that's
help
good.
in building an ecosystem.
Thank you.
Professor Valavanis.
I will start by one of the remarks of Dr. Theodorou. A recent study in the United States in terms of the job market revealed that we need systems engineers.
Ah.
Yes. Robotics is an interdisciplinary subject. So you need electrical, mechanical, computer scientists, you need just about everything, even materials engineering. So that's one. I would summarize that we need in Greece a robotics culture to be able to overcome the challenges. We have the intellectual capital. I think that part to overcome these challenges is the decision makers should be problem solvers rather than obstacle generators. And I think that there has to be a triage of the university being allowed, being free to do basic and applied research, have the investors and the funding to create the infrastructure, and then provide initiatives and incentives to industries to adopt, modernize, automate assembly lines or whatever else, so that this triage allows robotics to flourish. We are in a race, and there are other countries which have made jumps, huge progress in robotics, even though I should say they were behind Greece a few years ago. So I believe that timing is of essence, particularly because we need proof that we can actually use robotics to produce. And with robotics, one key challenge is not only to improve the product, but also improve the process.